Well, hello there. I'm Susan Hamilton. You're watching OBBM Live, special DFW local business. And today I am talking with Jeanie Marten, Jeanie Marten Realty over in the Sachse areas where your business is, but you're all over DFW.
Yep, we try to stay kind of in the Northeast quadrant, but we will go pretty much anywhere in DFW that our clients want to take us. We definitely specialize in Sachse, Wylie, Garland, Murphy, Lavon, Rowlett, Rockwall.
I
That's
think
really
that's really handy. When I first met you, I got to hear your story, and when you were on Jeff Bickerstaff's very first Seated to Serve episode, and I'm excited to share you again this coming week or soon. And you were mentioning how you got to see the community grow, and so you know it very well. And it's easy to fall in love with this space, right? I spent a lot of time there as well. I started my kids in Allen, and watched those little bitty communities just explode.
We have lived in Sachse now for 20 years. And, when we first moved into our house in 1998, and yes, I'm the realtor that does not move. Um, we literally you had to go through another subdivision to get to our subdivision. And we were in the back and we were surrounded by cows and horses. And now I'm surrounded by houses. And so, there was only one subdivision on Miles Road, and even watched Sachse High School be built. So a lot of growth. Now he's close to build out, which is astonishing.
Wow, it certainly changes. I like that park over there. My husband and I were married a second time at the park over off of Brandon Campbell area. Yeah, so that we spent a lot of time over there. So you've come to know this space and you come to love it, and that's so important because when the face changes, there's a voice in every community. There's a vibe in every community. So to really know it, you're able to advise people about the location because you've seen it from the very beginning, and you know what's going on with those schools. As you mentioned, I remember when Sachse High School was built. My kids were there the first year that we were open. So very interesting space. I remember loving that high school and hearing nothing but good things about it. So do you have a particular area that's your favorite when you like to show?
Oh, it's definitely Sachse. I haven't needed a map to show Sachse in years. Know my way around. I know most of the builders that built the different subdivisions. It's easy. It's, honestly, I can verbally vomit information on clients if I'm not careful. It's just too much. Overload, reel it in.
But it's important, though, to keep those home sales going and to keep the movement happening in the marketplace, especially right now. One of the things that we're talking about with these OBBM lives is really how are we rising to the challenges of shelter in place? I mean, that was something yours was just lifted. You were able to get out. I mean, you were down. How many weeks were you?
Honestly, it was a week and a half, 2 weeks that we were completely down, and it was very interesting in that the way the shelter in place came to be for us, it divided my company. So, realtors are independent contractors for the most part. And so half my company, half my agents don't live in Dallas County and the other half does. And our office is located in Dallas County. And so when the shelter in place came in Dallas County, it sent me, my admin, my transaction coordinator, and one other agent home. And so we shuttered the office, and I said, everybody's got to work remote until we figure this out. However, there were 3.5 of us. Gavin's not a licensed realtor. But he does so much for me. It's crazy. But we couldn't do anything. I had listings that were stuck. They couldn't be shown because they were in Dallas County, and I had listings outside of Dallas County that I couldn't service without help from my other agents. So it was really just odd. It was honestly very sad too. And it was difficult to make myself do anything at that point because
Who's ever seen anything like this, right?
Right.
So, so did you find yourself in a situation where you had to do a little kind of counseling with your client base, really help people to get rid of some of that fear?
Yes, and it was difficult at that point because we had to have conversations that were really difficult, things that we hadn't had to say out loud since the last recession. Like, literally asking client, how long can you carry this house before you're not able to make payments anymore? How their house is sitting vacant. They purchased another home, never imagining that anything like this would happen. And at that point, I would have advised them to do it and put them in the best negotiating position. But we lost the contract on their house. And so literally had that phone call of, how long can you guys do this? It's not their, what we need to understand is it's not their primary residence anymore. There's no protections from the government. There's no protections. They can't, there's no eviction issue here. They weren't living in the house, which means, it's difficult. It was going to be easier to foreclose on them than it would be for somebody who's owner occupying. And so how long can we carry this house? It was a really horrible conversation. The second Abbott finished speaking, the night he put us back to work, I was on the phone with them going, we're back in business. This is what we're going to do. And I mean, it may have been, off the cuff at that point of how we're going to pull this out, but it was fast and furious. I needed confirmation on a couple things, but ready or not, baby, here we go. And we blasted out of the gates with them first. And we did our first virtual open house. And we've improved a lot since then. We've learned a ton. In fact, we even got a new gadget today that's going to help with the motion sickness.
It is about it is about the gadget, no doubt. So how are people responding to the virtual tours?
Incredibly positively. It's so far, I'm heeding my friend Jeff Bickerstaff's advice that eventually somebody's going to say something pooty and I'm going to have to deal with it, because I'm afraid my feelings are on my sleeve right now. And if anybody said anything negative at this point, I'm not sure how I would take it, but I'm imagining not well. So, but the response has been fantastic. I mean, we are averaging 30 to 40 people who are viewing it while we're doing it, which is fantastic. All of those posts within 24, 48 hours have 200 views on them. 2 of the 3 houses, let's say we've done 5 of them at this point, and 3 of those houses are sold. And so that feels really good. I don't know that we can directly attribute it to the virtual open houses, but what it does show everyone involved is that these realtors are still out working, and we're going to get it done one way or another. We will figure out and we will adapt. Took a pandemic to get me to do video, but here we are.
Seriously, so many challenges related to that, and it's important though. They need to see us. We need to make sure that we're doing all that we can in our communities, because we love our communities. What happens in the absence of local or demise of local business? That's home sales, local business, all of these things that make, auto sales, all the things that make the world go around. We've got to start really focusing, in my opinion, on what's going on in the local space, because I'm not real convinced that the farther out you go with county, state, and federal government, that they're really hearing us, that they are really tuned into what's going on here. And we need to be able to have a say. And the marketplace needs to know, hey, these are the people I can count on. And when you stay visible through that space, they know they can count on you. And that's beautiful. We want them assured, hey, friends, we're still working. And there's a lot of good stuff to be seen out there. What is some advice that you might have for someone who is wondering, man, should I be taking this step today? Should I be looking closer at a home sale? Should I take advantage of this time?
If that thought has crossed your mind at all, you need to call a realtor right now. I mean, things are rapidly changing. We have no idea exactly how this is going to impact us moving forward. The numbers coming out, the guesstimates coming out from the experts at the National Association of Realtors is that we're going to see a 15% drop in home sales over the next year because of COVID. And so with a drop in home sales, you can only imagine that there's going to at some point be a drop in prices and values. And we know that we're going to see a bump. Probably a bump is probably an understatement, but we're going to see foreclosures. We haven't seen foreclosures in the last 5 to 7 years. They went away when we came out of the recession. Literally, if I see one a month, sorry, we're at home, so phones are ringing.
Right. We are here, and we've got several different people working out of the home. So yeah. So I feel you.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to see foreclosures. I really think that we're going to start seeing those in January, February, first quarter of next year. Foreclosures are going to start happening. People are going to lose their homes. They, you know, there can only be so much grace that's given, and we don't have no idea when some of these jobs are coming back. And so as inventory begins to rise, prices will begin to drop. We had come out of the gate so strong for this year. We saw new construction catching up for the first time since the recession. New home starts were strong, strong, strong. Honestly, for February, we were up 2.3% in the state of Texas. It was huge. So, with new construction sitting there with inventory, and a lot of that inventory is second home price range. Those are not affordable first time home buyer price ranges. It's a little disconcerting about where we're gonna be. But back to the question, if you're thinking about it, go now. Be having those conversations right now, before we start seeing things shift.
One of the things I really appreciate about Jeff also is his attitude about designing the city, and I know you share that with him.
Yes.
You get to really decide where you want to be, design your life, and
Right.
put this thing together. Meet some fabulous people, because there are some wonderful, wonderful people out there. Love those areas for sure. A lot of heart with the schools,
Right.
and things that are really making a difference. Jeanie, how can everybody get a hold of you?
My phone number is 972-588-8363. I have a website at jeaniemarten.com. My email is jeanie@martenre.com. And my name is spelled wonky. So, so get ready for Jeanie with one N and Marten with an E. I joke about it being Marten instead of Marten. Don't let your brain fix it.
Well, we love that, and we're going to share you, because people need to hear the voice behind Jeanie Marten Realty, and really enjoy that. You've got legs all over the place over there. How big is your team?
There's, including Gavin, there's 8 of us. And so we're busy. We work hard. Gavin is our only guy. So it's a lot of hardworking ladies, and Gavin is our creative force. And he just celebrated 2 years with us, and we're out there. We're doing what we need to do.
All right, you need to take a close look at this area. It's a good time to just drive around and check it out. You can't do much anyway. Go take a drive, check out the neighborhood that we're talking about here, because they're really, really fun. If you do stop and go grab some gas or go through a drive-through, you'll see just enough small town atmosphere to really back that up. No doubt about it. Until next time, friends, if you have not had an opportunity to schedule your OBBM Live with me, go back to the Offbeat Business Show page and click on the button under the banner and go ahead and get set up. We are taking advantage of this time during shelter in place to help the marketplace stay familiar with the faces that are serving them. Thank you so much, Jeanie.
Thank you.